Hey everyone, Norm here, and first off, happy 2026. I'm kicking off the year with something that's becoming one of my favorite tech categories to cover: display glasses. These aren't your typical AR headsets or fancy smart glasses that rely on apps or AI. These are essentially wearable monitors that bring a giant screen right in front of your eyes, whether you're traveling, gaming, or just working. And this year, XREAL has two new products worth talking about: the XREAL 1S and their new companion, the Neo Battery Dock. I've been testing them for the past month, and today I want to break down not just what these do, but where they fit in the larger landscape of AR, mixed reality, and smart glasses. First, let's cover the basics. If you've never used XREAL glasses, think of them as lightweight, portable monitors you can wear. The 1S weighs just 52 grams, making them incredibly light and comfortable to wear for extended sessions. Unlike standalone AR headsets, the 1S doesn't have an internal processor or battery. Everything runs through a single USB-C cable that powers the glasses and sends display output from your device, whether that's a laptop, a Steam Deck, or the new Nintendo Switch 2. This simplicity is one of my favorite things about them. No charging. No complicated setup, they just work. Inside the 1S are two Sony Micro OLED panels with a resolution of 1920 by 1200, giving you a slightly taller screen than last year's models. The displays use birdbath optics, a clever system of mirrors that projects the image downward and combines it with your real-world view. The result is a stereoscopic floating screen with a 52 field of view. It's not fully immersive like VR, but it's more than enough to feel like you're reworking on a large monitor or playing a game on a massive screen in front of you. For context, last year's XREAL 1 had a 50 view, and the 1 Pro reached 57 with prism optics. The wider aspect ratio of 16:10 also makes a subtle but meaningful difference for productivity. It's web browsing and watching content. The glasses feature hardware buttons along the side and top for menu navigation, brightness control, and electrochromic dimming, which lets you partially block out the outside world if needed. One of the best improvements is the smooth follow mode, thanks to the XREAL X1 chip, which enables 3 degrees of rotational tracking. In other words, the virtual screen stays anchored in front of you as you move your head, creating a comfortable, natural experience for longer use sessions. I've found the 1S particularly useful for gaming. When connected to a Steam Deck or laptop, you instantly transform a small handheld display into a massive virtual monitor. The OLEDs are bright, vibrant, and deep black, hitting 700 nits, which makes games pop far beyond the native display of these devices. For productivity, the 1S works as a virtual monitor, letting you extend your laptop screen or even simulate ultra-wide resolutions. While it's enough for writing emails, browsing the web, or watching videos, the pixel density and 52 field of view mean it. It's not quite as sharp as a high-end monitor or something like Vision Pro for Mac users. Software that scales high DPI output can help improve text clarity, essentially giving you a crisper image without needing higher resolution panels. A unique feature of the 1S is its built-in to D2 3D conversion. Unlike competitors that require apps, this feature is handled directly in the glasses. It can add depth to movies, sports, and videos, which makes objects in the foreground feel like they're popping out of the screen. While it's fun for cinematic experiences, I wouldn't recommend it for gaming because the added processing can create noticeable latency, especially in fast-paced games. Additionally, enabling this mode locks the refresh rate at 60 Hz. Though firmware updates have improved this from the previous 30 Hz limitation. Overall, it's more of a novelty feature than a daily use function, but it's still fun to experiment with. In terms of image quality, the 1S brings some trade-offs. While the taller 16:10 resolution is excellent for productivity, there's slightly more chromatic aberration around the edges, and the bottom 5% of the display can appear a little blurry. There's also some pincushion distortion, a subtle bowing effect common in optics like this, still considering the overall brightness, contrast, and lightweight design. The 1 strikes a solid balance for both gaming and work. Price point is $450, making it slightly cheaper than last year's 1 Pro. Considering last year's models can often be found used or on sale for $300 to $400, I'd say if you already own a 1, or One Pro, there's no need to upgrade. The One S is more of a soft refresh, better panels, minor software improvements, and the addition of a new accessory. That accessory is the Neo A battery dock designed to support mobile gaming and portable setups. It has 10,000 milliamp hours of power, enough to run a Nintendo Switch in docked mode at 1080p and 120 Hz. And it includes a kickstand and magnets for mounting phones or other devices. Neo works with other glasses too, but its primary use case is the Switch 2. It's convenient for gaming on the go, but not essential for everyone. Expect about 2 to 3 hours of gameplay before needing a recharge. And keep in mind that the USB-C cable is fixed, which could be a limitation if it ever breaks. Looking ahead, what excites me most is Project Aura, XREAL's upcoming standalone headset. Linked in partnership with Google's Android XR, Aura combines world tracking, hand tracking, and pass-through prism optics with a 70 field of view. The processing is handled by a Snapdragon XR2 Plus Gen 2 puck, similar to Samsung's Galaxy XR. During a hands-on demo last December, I was impressed by how natural multitasking felt. Full web browsing, video playback, and even VR-style games like Deo, all integrated into a lightweight wearable device. It's essentially XREAL, taking years of experience from Airs to One Pro and creating a standalone, full-featured mixed reality headset that finally feels practical for developers and enthusiasts. To put Aura in context, here's a quick look at XREAL's journey. The XREAL Airs and Air to South introduced the lightweight Wayfarer form factor with birdbath optics, but no tracking. The Beam accessory added tethered compute and video pass-through. The Air to Ultra introduced cameras for slam tracking and rudimentary hand input. The Beam Pro brought Android support. And the One and One Pro added rotational tracking, prism optics, and compact designs. Aura merges all of these lessons: tracking, optics, resolution, and software integration, but in a standalone headset. So, what's my takeaway for 2026? The One S and Neo are great incremental updates for gamers and productivity users, but they're not revolutionary. For anyone excited about mixed reality, Project Aura is where XREAL is pushing the envelope. Display glasses are finally bridging the gap between tethered monitors and full MR headsets, offering a lightweight, practical experience that's genuinely usable today